It's day 4 of Walk Off the Weight, and I've got a great knee-friendly cardio walk for us. No equipment needed, so let's go. All right, killer bees, let's go ahead and get moving and grooving, and that means that we're getting started with some arm circles and high knees. You guys, if you are new around here, first of all, welcome to the workout. I'm Paula B, I'm your best middle-aged fitness friend, and this month we are walking off the weight. But you might have already noticed that we do the exact same warm-up every single day. This is on purpose. This, to me, is like the best mental and physical signal that we are about to get a great workout. Also for me personally, it means that we can do the work without me having to really think about counting or timing or doing something different or being coordinated or anything like that while I tell you about the workout. And today, oh my gosh, today we're going to have so much fun. Today is completely knee friendly, meaning that there are absolutely no squats, no lunges of any kind, but we are thinking about strengthening our knees with some really fun cardio exercises. There's absolutely no jumping, no transitions to the ground. It's all cardio, not quite all the time. There is a little bit of rest today. We are going in one of my absolute favorite protocols. Let's go ahead and do some arm crossers with booty kickers. Today we are doing step stools, which is just a fun way of saying that it's kind of a repeating, no repeat sort of a workout. I've got quite a few exercises for us today. We're going to take them all in very small doses, and we're going to add them up into progressively longer intervals, but not ever to the point where it's so crazy. My friends, you've heard me already talk about how moderation is the key. The harder we work, the harder it is to lose weight. So my goal for both of us is to work out just enough to feel really good about our day, to get a nice sweat, but not so much that we can't go on and do whatever we have planned for the rest of the day with lots of energy. Let's go ahead and do some welcome to my homes, because welcome to my home. My friends, the timer, my handy dandy gym boss here, is set for 20 seconds. Now here's the thing, if you've never done a step stool before, I will tell you that it starts off so easy that you're gonna be like, Paula, come on. But that is intentional. This workout builds on itself, and I promise there will be plenty of sweat by the time that we are done. We're going to go ahead and get going with a walking interval. And here's the thing about a step stool. So the first time we do a walking interval, and then we rest, and then we do walking plus something else, and then we rest again, and then we do walking plus something else plus something else. That's where the heart rate starts to really come up. So let's go ahead and get started with some walking. It's only 20 seconds. And honestly, for our resting intervals today, I'm still going to be doing like a little bit of tapping, a little bit of side to side, a little bit of, I'm going to call it fidgeting, honestly, because I'm a fidgeter. It's what I do. But I will tell you that when we don't just stop and stand still. So here we go. It's a nice 20 seconds of rest. When it beeps again, we're going to do 20 seconds of walking, and we're going to pair that with reach across high plus reach across low, which is exactly what it sounds like. We're going to reach across high, and then we're going to reach across low. It's a very fun, simple, almost a little bit more of a warm-up kind of an exercise where we can really feel like we've got a nice dynamic movement. So here we go with the walking. And then when it beeps, we're going to do that reach across high, reach across low. But here's what I was talking about being fidgety. The thing about us is that we think that when we are exercising, it's the only time that we are actually burning calories in our day. Don't you kind of think that? So here we go with reach across high, reach across low. And then when it beeps again, we're going to get 20 seconds of rest, and I'm going to be standing here tapping or fidgeting. You are welcome to stand still if you really need to bring your heart rate down. That's totally fine. I'm never going to tell you not to. But what I am telling you about that little bit of fidgeting, when we are, okay, so 20 seconds of rest. Oh, I'm still walking. Let me actually tap. Okay, when it beeps again though, we are going to walk again. We're going to do that reach across high plus reach across low, and we're adding a third exercise of kick jacks. That is our whole step stool. Kick jacks are just what it sounds like. We're going to kick while our hands are doing jumping jacks. Absolutely no jumping today. But anytime you are moving at all, so here we go with walking. Anytime like me, talking with my hands, or anytime you're sitting at your desk and you're kind of fidgeting or tapping your foot, honestly, anytime you're alive, you are burning calories. I mean, let's just start with that. You burn calories 24 hours a day, 366 days of the year, all day, all year long. So reach across high and reach across low. Your entire life is spent burning calories. But when we are fidgety, when we're not sitting perfectly still, when we are not completely at rest, and honestly, even completely at rest, we're still kind of moving around. If you're anything like me, if you sleep like I do, I'm always tossing and turning. When it beeps here, we're going to do kick jacks. So your legs are kicking, your hands are doing jumping jacks, but none of you is actually jumping. And then when it beeps again, we will be done with this little step stool. There is no repeating of the step stools. So once we've gone through them one time, this is why I called it a repeating, no repeat. But you are actually revving up, here we go with a nice rest period. You are actually revving up your metabolism anytime you're moving at all. So even this little bit, I know it doesn't feel like exercise. When it beeps again, by the way, we're going to turn this into an exercise with low swinging tappers. We're going to get our hands swinging. Now, when I say they're swinging low, it just means that they're not going up overhead. They're actually swinging pretty high. We can really get into this, or you can keep it lower. Totally depends on what you'd like to get out of the day. Doesn't matter to me. I want you to make the workout work for you. But what I was saying is that anytime we're moving at all, we're actually burning calories at a slightly elevated rate off of what we would consider complete rest. Speaking of complete rest, here is one. When it beeps again, we're going to do those low swinging tappers paired with middle skips, which I call them middle skips because it's not a full jumping skip, but you can, once again, you can really get your hands kind of moving. Your hands are going, your knees are coming up. It is a skipping motion without any kind of jumping. So here we go with those low swinging tappers. And this is something that I think is honestly kind of a misconception when we think, oh, I have to work really hard to burn enough calories to be able to lose weight. First of all, I've already told you that there is a point of diminishing returns on that. There is a point where you can exercise too much. So here we go with middle skips. But there's also a point where you can be a little bit fidgety during your day. You can just tap your foot, move around a little bit, be moving your hands when you talk. Little bits at a time actually do, over time, consistently add to, here's 20 seconds of rest, add to your overall metabolism, your overall calorie burn. It's not enough to add up to like an entire meal out of the day or anything like that, but it doesn't need to be. When it beeps again, we're doing those low swinging tappers paired with the middle skips, and we're adding on twisting side kicks. Oh my gosh. Okay, so low swinging tappers first. I will tell you, I'm going to have to think about these twisting side kicks. This is a new exercise for me. I literally made it up today. So don't mind me if I'm completely awkward. But okay, so first we're going to do the middle skips. When it beeps, we're doing middle skips, and then I'm going to start telling you about these twisting side kicks so that I can start wrapping my brain around it. So middle skips here. So what we're going to do is our torso is going to twist while we are kicking out to the side, and we're going to twist into the kick. So what I'm going to think about is bringing basically my opposite elbow towards my opposite knee, which is going to be out to the side. So that's how we're going to twist into it. Oh, there we go. That's actually a really good mnemonic device. I'm going to think about it like that. So we're kicking out to the side while twisting into it, bringing our opposite elbow. Whoo, doggies, we can really get rocking on this one, right? I love it. When it beeps again, we've got 20 seconds of rest. Whew, that was fun. That was super fun. And this is why we're resting. This is what I was promising you, you guys. I knew that the workout was going to turn out like this. When it beeps again, we've got a whole new step stool to get started on. We're starting with can-cans, which is a knee and a kick. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but this is how I've structured these. So knee and kick, and knee and kick. I've structured these step stools so that the third exercise, the one that we only do on that long interval and we only do it once, it's a little bit harder. It's a little bit more speedy. It's a little bit more. That way I know that we get a little bit of rest afterwards, for example, right now, because we're starting a new step stool. Just can-cans and then we rest. And then coming up next, we're going to do those can-cans again, paired with booty kicker jacks. So we're going to kick our own booty. Our hands are going to be doing jumping jacks. And none of us is going to be doing any kind of jumping at all because we don't need to. My friends, have you noticed the magic? Here's the can-cans. Have you noticed the magic of low impact exercise? It's not low intensity. You can make this, honestly, you can make this as intense as you want to. I'm keeping it nice and moderate. Moderate for me means this pace. Moderate for you might be a little bit faster, might be a lot slower. It might be anything in between. Here we go with booty kicker jacks. Hands are doing jumping jacks. Lower body is kicking your own booty. When it beeps again, we're going to get 20 seconds of rest. Such a good job. I love it. This is what I love about step stools, is there really is plenty of work to be had. There's nothing about this. I'm going to come back to tapping. Here's our rest. There's nothing about this that is easy. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be just right. My goal for you is to feel amazing while you are losing weight. That's what I want for you more than anything in the world. When it beeps again. Can-cans, booty kicker jacks, and something I call letter Ks. Here we go with can-cans. I love these letter Ks. I've been doing letter Ks for a while now. And for the longest time, I had no idea which side was the letter K. We're forming the letter K with our body. We're also not forming the letter K with our body on the other side. When it beeps though, we're doing booty kicker jacks. And I used to talk about it all the time. So here we go with booty kicker jacks. But I used to talk about it all the time about how one of these is a letter K, one of them is not, and I can't tell because I don't know what my body is doing and I can't see it in the camera. I mean, I can, but I know that that's still backwards. And some very nice viewers finally informed me which way is the letter K. But we're going to start with our hands up to the middle, and then on one side we're going to be the letter K. On the other side we're not. One hand stays up all the time. The other one is reaching down to the side towards that same side kicking foot. Again with this side kick, really getting it rocking, and this is our longest interval, our toughest exercise of this step stool. And then we get 20 seconds of rest. Another step stool burned underneath us, my friends. We are plowing through my list today. Coming up next, one of my favorites, punch, punch, kick. You know what we're going to do? We're going to punch, and we're going to kick. Each of these step stools, by the way, has a little bit of a theme. So we're going to punch, punch, and kick. Punch, punch, and kick. Punch, punch, and kick. And yes, I do usually have to keep saying it almost the entire time because otherwise I won't know what I'm doing. This one is just a little bit past my coordination. Oops, I totally got that backwards. Sorry. This one is just a little bit tough for me. Here we go with 20 seconds of rest to wrap my brain around. And you notice that how I accidentally punched and kicked incorrectly. That happens sometimes, especially if you're new here. I apologize, but it is what it is. This is the kind of trainer I am. Sometimes I get confused by my own workouts. It beeps again. We're doing that punch, punch, kick paired with double knees. So punch, punch, and kick. Punch, punch, and kick. When it beeps again, we're going to have our hands up overhead. We're going to bring both hands down towards one knee 2 times in a row before we pivot and do that exact same thing on the other side. So we've got a little bit of almost like a kickboxing theme. So here we go. Hands up overhead, 2 knees on one side, 2 knees on the other side. This step stool is a little bit of punching, kicking, knees, a little bit of getting our aggressions out today if you have any. I'm actually not feeling aggressive at all. I'm feeling quite happy with today's workout. When it beeps again, we're going to get our 20 seconds of rest. Awesome job. Catching our breath. I know. Now here's the thing about moderate workouts. Sometimes we get into them and all of a sudden we're going a little bit faster. I'm noticing it that I'm going a little bit faster. I'm going to intentionally bring myself back to moderate. When it beeps again, we're doing that punch, punch, kick paired with the double knees. So punch, punch, and kick paired with the double knees. And then our final on this one is rainbow kicks. Here's what happens when we start off our workout nice and moderate. I get kind of lulled into oh, this isn't so bad. I can totally do this. And then all of a sudden, it's not quite as moderate as it was. Here we go with double knees. But the point of working out moderately is that we're supposed to be working out moderately. The harder we work, the harder it is to lose weight. I'm going to tell you that 1,000,000 times this month, just so that you can remember that it's okay to slow down a little bit. Rainbow kicks are coming up next. We're going to have our hands going up overhead like a rainbow while we kick out to the side. Whoo, doggies. More side kicking for our third exercise because it feels so fun and so free. I love kicking to the side. There's a lot of momentum that you can really get rocking with. When it beeps again, we've got our 20 seconds of rest. Nice, nice job. And that was the end of another step stool. Coming up next. Coming up next is the kinder, gentler version of those rainbow kicks. We're doing day breaks. Once again, hands overhead, going up overhead like a rainbow, while we simply tap to the side. Like we're literally just still doing this with our feet, but our hands are going up overhead. To me, the reason I call them day breaks, they don't really have anything to do with daybreak. I mean, I guess there's a little bit of maybe the sun coming up or something. This is a dance move that my brother and sister and I and my cousins used to do in my aunt's car when we listened to Barry Manilow singing Daybreak at the top of our lungs. Here's 20 seconds of rest. That move to me is like my childhood personified, and Barry Manilow, frankly, is the soundtrack of my childhood. So this theme for this step stool is the 70s. Woohoo! We're going to do those day breaks again, and we're pairing them with disco dancers. So here we go with day breaks. Excuse me. And disco dancers are really, they're just what it sounds like. We're going to have our John Travolta fingers. We're going to have one hand going up while that same, or rather the opposite leg, kicks out to the side, doing our little disco move, one arm at a time. That way your shoulders don't get too tired. So disco dancer this way and that way. The other arm goes back behind you. It's a little bit of a twist, getting that foot out behind you and tapping, loving this motion, my friends, reliving my childhood where I was not especially good at disco dancing. When it beeps again, we're going to get 20 seconds of rest. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the final exercise in this step stool is we're adding on ding dongs, which of course is again another lateral motion. The reason I love the ding dongs and why it fits in with my 70s theme, excuse me, I'm sorry, my microphone wire was coming up all over the place. We're going to start with those day breaks. Here we go. The ding dongs remind me of Weeble Wobbles. Which again, such a great childhood memory. I never had any of them. I don't know why it's a good memory. I never had Weeble Wobbles. I totally wanted them. My neighbors had them and I used to go over and play with them all the time. I loved Weeble Wobbles. I just never owned any myself. But still a fun memory. Disco dancers now. And then when it beeps again, we're doing ding dongs. If you haven't done them before, even though I think we've done them already in this series, but just in case you don't remember them, which why would you? Our hands are going to be swinging low, like low swinging tappers, meaning not over our head, while our feet are kicking out to the side, one at a time. And we're really going to get rocking on this one. Woo! You can tip over pretty far, hopefully without falling. That's always my goal for you, is to not actually fall over. You can have some fun with this one. When it beeps again, we're going to get 20 seconds of rest, and we're going to be done with this step stool. What a great job you've done. All right, 20 seconds of rest. And then after the trip through my childhood, we're going to finish up. Oh my gosh, we're going to finish up with some of my favorite exercises that are really going to work my brain. We're starting with oblique pull downs. What that means is we're going to start with our hands up overhead. We're going to pull our elbows down while one knee comes out to one side and then the other side. This is actually a little bit more of almost like a strength move. We're really thinking about pulling back with our elbows, pulling up with our knee. Of course, we're moving fast enough that it's cardio because it's a cardio day. But this one always feels a little bit strong to me. Here's 20 seconds of rest. How's your heart rate doing? I know, we're keeping it moderate, you guys. We're going to keep it moderate. This is our last step stool, and I'm really going to think about keeping it at a pace that works for me. This time, we're adding on step back twists. So we're going to do those oblique pull downs, and then we're doing step back twists. Oh my gosh. It's another one that I really have to think about. So we're stepping back, and we're twisting away from it. So whichever foot is stepping back, the other arm is opening out to the side. I'm really gonna have to wrap my brain around this one. So we're stepping back and twisting away from it. I've got my hands kind of going into it, one arm going up at a time. You are absolutely welcome if you'd rather keep them a little bit lower. Totally fine with me. Whatever works for you. This is also kind of a strengthy move. That is the theme. Here we go with 20 seconds of rest. That is the theme of this final step stool, is that these are very strengthy moves that I've turned into cardio. So you might really feel these in your muscles, in your body. We're toning while we're walking. Okay, when it beeps again, Doing those oblique pull downs for the third and final time, paired with the step back twist. So here's those oblique pull downs, paired with those step back twists that I have to think very hard about. And then our final exercise is forward hinge arm flappers, which is essentially a deadlift while your hands are doing jumping jacks. So it's another very strengthy move. So coming up next, we're doing those step back twists. I'm gonna wrap my brain around it now. So stepping back and twisting, stepping back and twisting, really feeling almost a stretch on one side of your obliques while you're crunching and twisting with the other. When it beeps again, our feet are gonna stay still. Our booty is gonna push back, back, back to hinge us forward. And our arms are gonna be doing what looks like jumping jacks, but there's absolutely no jumping today. As promised at the very beginning of, gosh, at the beginning of like 2019, I think is when I stopped doing almost any kind of jumping. When it beeps again, my friends, we are done, but we will not quite be finished. We are gonna take 20 seconds of rest. We'll do a little bit more tapping to bring our heart rate down. And I've got one final thing for us, our finisher today. We're actually gonna work on strengthening our knee with a little bit of balance work. I'm gonna stand on one leg, that standing leg. Your knee is gonna be soft but strong, really pulling the work all the way up into your core and your glutes. You're gonna bring up your other knee to wherever you can get it to, and we're gonna extend that leg and then bend and extend. It's a knee extension, nice and simple, but not easy, my friends. Think about your balance. If you need something to hang on to, that's totally fine. We're really engaging your thigh muscles, your quadriceps muscles, to work on strengthening your knees. On the other side, this is it. The next time it beeps is the last time it's gonna beep today. What a great job you've done. Working on your balance here to finish us all off. Awesome job. Oh my gosh. Whew, excellent. All right, timer goes off. Doing a little bit more tapping while we cool it down. Oh my gosh, let's go ahead and do some nice big arm circles. How amazing did that feel today? I tell you what, I was thinking about this when I put this together. In fact, I'm gonna look at my watch really quickly. I was right on the money. I thought that today would be about 2,000 steps. Generally speaking, when we do cardio like we're doing for about 20 minutes, like we're doing, I thought that might be basically a mile, my friends. 2,000 steps. And steps don't help you lose weight, but it's really nice to see them racking up, right? Like, it's one of the reasons why I wear a Fitbit. It feels nice and it feels like an accomplishment. Once again, I will tell you, it's not the exercise that makes you lose weight. It's eating the right number of calories really consistently. Focus on those numbers way more than your step number, but enjoy the step number as a nice accomplishment. Let's go ahead and open it up. And close it up. Give yourself a big hug. Oh my gosh, and a pat on your sweaty back. What a great, great, great job you did today. Here on screen for you, I do have an extended cool down like I always do. You are welcome to cool it down a little bit more stretching, getting some of that sweat to keep dripping off of you. And on the other side of the screen, in case you haven't heard all the information that I have a great video for you. Everything you need to know to lose weight so that you can have a super successful month walking off the weight. My friends, thank you so much for working out with me today. Make sure you click the subscribe button, and I'll see you tomorrow.